I only work 3 days a month and create more content than most people who are posting daily. If you are like many other creators out there, then you're probably spending almost every single day thinking about content. What you should film today, what you should post tomorrow, scrambling for ideas and editing until 2 a.m. and then waking up the next day just to do it all over again. Now, at the start I said that I only work 3 days in a month. Well, yeah, I just travel the rest of the time. But in those 3 days, I create everything I need for the entire month. I'm talking YouTube videos, Instagram content, TikToks, and literally everything. You see, in the last year, I've grown my Instagram to over 300,000 followers and basically have built multiple revenue streams. And I'm literally filming this stuff from a different country every single month. And I do all of this while still working less than most people work in a single week. So, in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you why the daily content grind is killing your creativity and taking away from your life. Then I'll show you the exact batch system that I use to create 30 pieces of content in less than 3 days. And you'll find out how batching content can save you 20 hours per week. And I'll show you the workflow that lets me travel the world while staying consistent. So if you watch this video until the end, I might save you a few hours, and I'll also tell you a couple of secrets that I've got up my sleeve from being 10 years in this digital space. But first, let me ask you something. How much of your day do you spend thinking about content? If you're like most creators, you wake up and immediately start stressing about what to post. You're constantly switching between filming, editing, writing scripts, and responding to comments, and trying to plan tomorrow's content. And this is exactly why 90% of the creators out there burn out within their first year and completely fail. It's because they think that consistency means doing everything every single day. But you see, that's not consistency that will get you success. I mean, in my eyes, that kind of looks like just allowing yourself to go into slavery. You see, I used to be exactly like this. I'd film a video, edit it the same day, and then write the script for tomorrow's video, and then stress about running out of ideas and trying to stay relevant. I was working 10 to 12-hour days, barely trying to keep up, and at one point I got so frustrated that I took a second to try and analyze what is happening. And you see, what I realized was that even the most successful businesses do not operate this way. You see, for example, Apple doesn't design one iPhone per day. Netflix doesn't produce one episode at a time. They just try to batch everything. And if you want to make money as a creator, you need to think like a business. Look, there's actual science behind why this works better. The human brain performs significantly better when you're focused on one task at a time. Every time you try to switch tasks, you lose your focus and you lose efficiency. So learning this, I developed my own content creation batching system. And here's exactly how I do it. Now bear in mind, your lifestyle might be a little bit different from mine because I travel for a living, but maybe you also want to do that, so here it is. So once per month, I rent camera equipment and lights for 2 to 3 days, which basically costs me around $100. You see, for me, renting actually works much better as I don't need to invest into super expensive equipment, and I can actually have the best gear at my hand, also without worrying about luggage space. Then I book a beautiful Airbnb for a few days, and I create my filming setup. You can just do this at home if you have a nice room. But here's the key. I'm not filming one video. I'm filming everything I need for the entire month at once. So look, on day one, I set up all of my equipment all at once. I film 4 to 6 YouTube videos back to back, and then I make sure to capture any B-roll or extra footage that I need. Also, when filming, I make sure to shoot everything in horizontal, but make space on the sides just so I can crop in vertically later and reuse the content for social media. This way, one filming session gives me content for YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. Then on day 2, I record around 10 to 20 short form clips for social media. And I also record any seasonal or time sensitive material like promotions or anything like that, or anything else that I'm missing really. Sometimes I even use this day to let my friends use this setup that I create. They can use it for their own videos. And since they don't have all the gear at their hand and maybe need a little video for their website or anything, and then that way they can maybe give me a small dollar, which just goes back into the rental. Trust me, once you take a video setup like this and ask your friends if they need anything filmed, you will always find somebody who will get the use out of a pre-made studio in exchange for a sentimental dollar. So then on day 3, I edit all of my videos at once. It's a full day's of work, but since I'm only focusing purely on editing, I can edit faster. You see, this system actually comes from my wedding video editing agency that I had for 8 years. We used to spend 30 hours editing each video, but by trying to batch the content workflow, first cutting all the clips, then adding all of the effects, and then doing all the color grading, we cut that down to around 6 to 8 hours per video. You see, also in these batch time slots, we learn how to edit faster, because when you're focused on one task, you get into a flow state. You're not constantly switching between creative and technical modes. You're just editing. And you see, the quality of your work actually improves because you're not mentally jumping around all the time and your mind has more space for creativity. But you see, filming is only one piece of the puzzle. We also have to write scripts. So that's why I also try to batch that. So once per month, I will sit down and script everything for the next 30 days. One day, one simple task focus. I generate all of my video ideas, write my hooks, then plan my content. And I actually have a method on how to generate endless ideas and write scripts that people will actually listen to. But that's at the end of the video. You see, the hardest part about scripting content isn't the actual writing, it's the starting. You know, it's actually like that with everything in life, if you think about it. Starting is always the hardest. Maybe that's why birth is so painful. Anyways, you can start once and then just keep going. The momentum of you going is carrying through it. And same goes with editing. I edit all of my YouTube videos in one session, then all of my Instagram content in another session later in the day. But you see, here's where it gets really smart. If you practice this batch work, you'll actually be able to notice which part of the task takes you the longest time. And then you can take that part and you can split it into a separate session. For example, I noticed that finding music was taking me forever, sometimes 30 to 45 minutes per video, just browsing for the right track. And if I'm making 30 videos a month, that's what, like 15 hours a month? Yeah, that is quite a lot of time. So I take that task, and in one session, I only look for music. And now I have folders organized by mood and style. I have background music folder, I have a viral sounds folder, and I have a cinematic music folder. And then when I'm editing, I'm not getting distracted by browsing the internet. I just grab from my pre-selected music library what I need and just work with it. You see, this batching literally applies to everything. You can write all of your captions in one session, you can create all of your thumbnails together, and you can schedule all of your posts at once. I even respond to comments in a dedicated time block. The reason why this works so well is because task switching simply kills your productivity. Like I said, every time you switch from editing to music searching to caption writing, your brain needs time to refocus. Whereas when you batch content, you eliminate that friction. Now you might be thinking, this sounds great, but what about staying relevant and timely in this very fast-moving world? Well, that's why we move to my next point. As of the end of 2025, here is exactly how social media works if you're looking to grow your brand. So first of all, YouTube is your home base. This is where you will build real relationships with your audience. In fact, any platforms that has long-form content will help you because it will let you explain your ideas. It will let you show your personality and create genuine connection with the person watching. This gives you the maximum potential to build trust with your viewers, and trust is what we need for a successful business. Then I would use Instagram for marketing to a wider audience, to basically get people to come from Instagram to YouTube or to your website and basically try to lead them somewhere. You see, on Instagram, you have the opportunity to reach a huge audience in a short, easy to make format video. But the problem on there is that, as you know, you can blow up from a single viral reel, and just as quickly as the audience arrives to your page, just as quickly they can become dead and uninterested. So that's exactly why you need to have a correct setup for your Instagram to grow. You need the right exact strategy to convert new viewers into followers, and then followers into fans, and essentially fans into customers if you need. Because otherwise, you'll get that lucky viral video and millions of people will just kind of visit your profile instead of become real fans or customers. You know, there is a whole system that I use for my accounts that allows me to turn new people into trusted fans and customers. You need to know exactly what kind of videos to post, how to script those specific videos, and how to place yourself within your specific creator niche. But I won't go too much into that in this video, as there is way too much information. But if you do want to know more about growing your Instagram, then you can have a look at our Pocket Creator community, where creators like you connect, learn, and get direct feedback from me to grow their channels. If you're curious, link is in the description. Okay, and lastly, I would use TikTok for only one reason: to create viral trends in your niche. You see, I personally don't really like the audience on TikTok, as it's mostly an entertainment platform. Unless you are into entertaining people as your niche, then that's exactly your space. Now, here's something that most people don't do, but they probably should. You see, you have to use Instagram's limit to your advantage. If the platform allows you to create multiple accounts, then you should create at least 3 accounts. For example, account number 1, you would create polished, educational content aimed specifically at conversion. This would be your main base account. Account 2 would be your raw behind the scenes and personal updates where you can kind of, be a bit more raw and real. And account 3 I would use for everything else. Just throw the content at the wall and see what sticks. You can think of it like fishing with multiple fishing rods. One fishing stick you're careful with, the other one you kind of check occasionally, and then the last one you just load up with a bunch of hooks, throw it in and hope for the best. That way you're reaching 3 times the audience that you usually would with just 1 account. Also, if you aren't sure about a specific video and just don't know if you should post it or not, then this way you can always throw it into that 3rd account and you never know, maybe it will go viral. It is a very good way to test your content. I would just make sure that I would put the link in the bio in all of them so all 3 accounts reach to the same place. So all of this brings me to my next question. How often should you actually post? Now you see, this might be controversial, but how often you post doesn't matter as much as you think. You see, I have been building my personal brand for exactly 2 years, and I only have about 60 posts on Instagram. However, I've grown it to around 300,000 followers. You see, there's no point in making 30 mediocre posts per month when you could create 4 incredible ones. I have seen people post endlessly with no context or any purpose at all, just because they feel the pressure to post. And then they get 12 views per video and basically just give up. You see, the great painter Picasso didn't make a new painting every single day. He had a few excellent pieces throughout his whole lifetime. Art simply needs space to breathe. And in this modern day, we feel all the pressure around us. But it's very important to remind ourselves to just breathe. So instead of focusing on a specific target number, focus on creating the actual content. Focus on the story, focus on the visuals, just focus on what value you're providing to people. Because the quality of your content is more important than the quantity. Just try do this for a month and you will see how many videos you can realistically produce. Then after 2 or 3 months, you can analyze how many videos you can comfortably create. For example, for me, I know I can realistically create around 4 YouTube videos and 8 short form pieces per month. Sometimes I hit those numbers and sometimes I don't. But what I like to focus on is that the quality always stays high. And then next question, what time of the day should you post? There are so many people out there thinking that, they've cracked the code. And if you want, you can choose to believe and think like the sheep and feed off of what other sheep are predicting. Or you can follow the person who is the head of Instagram and listen to his advice. Even on his profile, he himself says that it doesn't matter what time you post. What matters is the quality of your content. You see, sometimes content goes viral a few weeks later after you post it. Even I have posted videos at 3 a.m. that got 70 million views. So the key here is having a system that is sustainable. Remember that batch creation gives you that sustainability while maintaining high quality. And this saves you so many hours. So my advice to you is stop the daily content grind that's burning you out and instead switch to batching everything. Filming, scripting, editing, planning, all separate. Also try to use platforms strategically instead of using them desperately. And lastly, focus on quality content over posting frequently. You can even try this yourself. Pick one day this week and batch script 4 video ideas. Just try to see how much faster and more creative you can become when you're not switching between tasks. And if you want to learn my secret method for generating endless video ideas and scripts that people keep watching, something that took me personally years to perfect, then you can watch this video right here. And if you want to learn more about growing on social media and converting followers into customers, then you can join the Pocket Creator community in the description, or just hit this button here and subscribe right here. Okay, bye.